Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Porcupine, episode number 7, I believe. I am Adam Nutter. What's up, everybody? Real quick before we get into our guest in the show, some quick plugs out of the way. July 10th, this comes out Thursday, so 2 days from today, July 10th in Chalfont, PA. We have our monthly comedy show at the Pop-In is back. It sells out all the fucking time, every month before COVID. Get your tickets now. It's already 3/4 sold out. All right, so you get 2 days to get those tickets. Guys, go to my social media, go to droptent.com. The ticket links everywhere. It's myself, Neil Wood, Andrew Thomas, Tyler Rothrock, Jesse Dram. It's going to be a blowout first show back at the Pop-In. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blast. So go get your tickets there. July 12th, I'll be doing Chrissy Mayer's podcast, The Wet Spot. And then after that, I'll be at the Stand doing Aaron Berg and Karen Freehan show, Frantic. Stop on by for that. That's going to be sick if you guys are in New York. And that's it for now. All right, guys, my guest today, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dave Casey from Dave vs. Goliath podcast, man. What's going on?
What's up, Adam? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Thanks for joining me on this hot-ass day, even though too bad we couldn't do it in person. That sucks, all the Skype stuff. But we're kind of close.
Yeah, man. We are in the region.
Yeah, in proximity. Eventually, we got to do one of these in person and have a good time.
I'm into it.
For sure.
I saw on the invite you can bring whatever drugs, please.
Yes, you can.
Please, so I like that. Just keep it.
Hey, would I be a good libertarian if I didn't say bring all the drugs or alcohol you'd want?
That's right. Enjoy yourself. Have a great time. Yeah.
I mean, you're wearing your Revolution shirt, your Ron Paul shirt.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you could tell because the camera you're looking at me and shit, but this is a Ron Paul hat. So my buddy drew like a cartoon Ron Paul head for me, and I made a custom hat out of it. And everybody's like, "Is that Ron Paul?" I'm like, it is.
Way to go, man.
It's fucking great. Love the man.
It.
So Dave, tell everybody about your podcast first and foremost, and like where they can find it and what's it about and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. I started it the beginning of this year. I started planning it, I guess, towards the beginning of COVID, with the intent being to just kind of, it was pretty interesting time in the first couple months. Like I didn't know. I was trying to basically keep the lines of communication open with my friends to just kind of like. It seemed like things were getting real dark real quick. And there was like, no traveling over state lines and things like that. And I was like, I had been ready for that. I was like, all right, everybody, it's emergency time. So we need to like, talk more and, like I said, keep the lines of communication open. So I reached out to my good friend Dan and I said, I want to do this. I want to like kind of step out of my comfort zone. And because I've always been kind of just in the background supporting other podcasters, supporting activists like Heist and whatever, listening to Tom Woods, listening to Dave, making memes for the caucus and whatnot. But after COVID, I was like, all right, I must participate in this in some fashion. So yeah, that kind of kicked it off, man. And I am 10 episodes deep, which is not a whole lot, but quantity is not everything. So had some cool guests so far. I had Spike coming on, Mike Heist. So I'm going to be speaking to Karen Ann later this week.
That's cool.
So yeah, man, pretty heavy LP so far, LP centric. But as we were talking just before the show, it's like it's a crazy time to be a Libertarian Party member. So it's kind of necessary. So that's where we're at.
I totally agree, dude. Now, obviously, like I said, we're both wearing our Ron Paul shit. So I'm assuming he's the guy who got you into the move, like the party, the movement, or were you always a Liberty guy before him? And then you're like, oh, this is my guy, though. Like, was it one of those?
That was the guy that kind of like snapped everything into place for me. Like I was, I'm a young man, 20 years old. I was, Dan the man and, but definitely I would say more on the left side of things. This was like, I came into my political awakening when George Bush was president. So to me, it was just like, all right, well, that's the problem. It's the right wing that's so awful. But, this is just, part of being a rookie and part of just waking up and beginning to tumble down the rabbit hole, right? But fast forward to Ron Paul, man, like that was the guy who explained why everything sucks. Like you got to know about the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. You got to know about, inflation. You got to know about sound money and these things that I just didn't know about. And so, yeah, that was definitely the moment after the 2008 run, but maybe 2009, 2010, started getting real heavy into Ron Paul, and yeah, when he I guess left the 2012 run, that's when I was introduced to the Libertarian Party, and it wasn't in the best of terms. It was like Gary Johnson came to a Ron Paul rally and was like, when you're done with your revolution, I could really use your vote. And I was like, I ended up doing it like a schmuck, but yeah, it wasn't the same thing. As Michael Heise said, there's the Gary Johnson campaign and the Ron Paul revolution, and these things are not alike. So we're finding that out more and more, aren't we, though?
Oh man, yeah, it's wild when you see it's kind of like you're seeing the death throes of a dictator almost in the LP, where you have all these people who they were in this position of power because the LP was such a joke for so fucking long. Where guys like you, guys like me, guys like Heise, Smith, name them, right? Name all the guys, whatever, guys and gals, Karen Ann, whatever. We weren't really caring because the message was a joke, the leadership was a joke, the candidates were a joke, and these people, they cared more about their social club and their little positions of power than they care about pushing message, pushing liberty, pushing freedoms. And now we're seeing that with guys like us and girls like us and our whole crew come in and be like, no, we're actually going to push that message. We're actually going to push that liberty. You see all these people all of a sudden, oh, now you want to work to combat us, but you never wanted to work to combat the state.
Right.
It's not about the state. It's about their positions of power. In fact, I'll double down where I read something interesting today from a group chat where they said that there was some FOIA article papers they got where they said that FBI plants were in every single part of the LP party, and they were even there when they started the LP party.
Yeah, I think that's pretty well documented at this point, and I would 100% agree. And you can go back to like the Church Commission stuff of the 70s when they were like, "Is the CIA in the media, in the television?" And then yeah, of course. So they say that position. Oh, we stopped that program. Don't worry about it. We stopped MK Ultra. We stopped all these things. Don't worry, everybody. It's like I don't think that's how the state operates. I think that they might tell you that every time you need to hear something, but yeah, man, all those programs, I'm sure, Mockingbird, they all continue on and get better and more advanced and more secretive. So yeah, I hate to put the tinfoil hat on this early, but that's kind of what I do. I'm happy to do it. I mean, there would be like if you have a political party with the stated purpose of, minimalizing to the smallest degree the federal government, how could you possibly think that it's not infiltrated? Just like, I mean, dude, Monsanto gets infiltrated with COINTELPRO. Like, why would, excuse me, like the green activists and things. So yeah, this can happen at the private or public level, man. So of course there's dudes spying on us, reporting back to other people, and yeah, for probably 50 years. That's my guess. People, and this is the fun one I throw out to people, because again, you have. It's annoying when, again, that word conspiracy, right? It was actually kind of created by the CIA to dissuade people from looking into the Kennedy assassination. That's the origin of the word conspiracy theorist. It's like, look at this guy, it's crazy. Kennedy got shot by Oswald. Okay, sure. But so I hate saying the word conspiracy because it's a negative connotation, but we don't have another word for it right now, so I'm going to say conspiracy. But like, you start talking about Operation Mockingbird, like you were just talking about, right? Where the CIA infiltrates the news organizations in America. And people go, no. And I go, okay, listen to me. I go, do you know who Gloria Vanderbilt was? And they go, yeah. And I go, she was a CIA spook. That's true, right? She worked for the CIA. Like, she wasn't like an agent. She wasn't like a shooting it. But she was a popular figure. And then she got info for the CIA from the rest of the world, right? She's a fucking popular figure. Yeah. Who's her son? Do you know who her son is? Yeah, that's Diamond Eyes Cooper, right? Anderson Cooper is her son. You ever stare into his eyes? Just, that's MK Ultra shit right there, bro. MK Ultra, dude, his Diamond Blues. There's Diamond Blues or MK Ultra CIA, man. You don't get the blue eyes like that without some medicine. Shit. No journalistic education, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure he went from CIA to CNN, which, again, interned. Right there, right? That's what I'm saying. He interned at the CIA in college. Like, this is all, you could look this up. This isn't like, and then now he just happens to be one of the biggest names and faces and heads at one of the major news corporations in America. You're telling me that's a coincidence? Crazy. It's still crazy that's still considered news. And I'm talking like across partisan lines. Right. It's crazy that CNN is still
Right.
with Wolf Blitzer's history. Yeah, these guys are just blatant propagandists. And who's the guy? Ted Turner, man, like this guy would be. I always think back to that picture of Nixon with Elvis and the badge. Like he's like, I want to be a cop.
Yeah.
Nixon was like, no problem. Like, here you go. You have like the authority to go around your town. He handed him a badge, and I'm pretty sure Elvis would get fucked up on booze and quaaludes and drive around and like pull people over. But like that's how they do it, man. I think like it's, I don't know.
Yeah, but like isn't that the problem though with like such power of like a state is like you'd be like, you my friend could be a cop. It's like, oh, drunk
Sure.
Elvis, drunk peanut butter fucking banana eating sandwich Elvis, that piece of shit. Or like the Steven Seagals of the world, like he's like, I'm a cop. It's like, are you?
Right. They blend this, you know, Julia Child, man, was a CIA asset.
What? I didn't know that.
Spied for them during World War II. Like
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, check that out, dude. I mean, again, like she didn't grow up in the agency, I don't think. I think she got kind of famous, and then they use these people to do certain, you know, intelligence gathering and stuff like that.
Because no one's going to expect, again, Julia Childs or Gloria Vanderbilt to be fucking CIA spooks. That's why.
Right.
It's a great cover.
If you would have said it in the 60s or whatever, 50s, again, that would have been completely laughed at. It's fact.
It's what's that great line or quote where it's what's the difference between a conspiracy and fact? 6 months to a year.
Yeah. Dude. We've been proven right.
That's the thing, man. And like I really don't want to be the I told you so guy to all my friends, but like back in March of 2020 was COVID? 2019? No, what the fuck was COVID? 2020, right?
2020. Yeah.
So March of 2020, the first when I was like, oh, it's coming here. I remember turning to my wife and going, hey, listen to me. I could guarantee you this is either complete bullshit, or this was like a man-made release thing to try to get control of whatever. And then even my wife at the time was like, and my wife's not a liberal at all or left, but she wasn't definitely a conspiracy person. She was like, no, it's probably just a real virus. I went, Steph, it's not. I guarantee it. Now look, a year later, oh, Fauci in the lab and the it's like, yeah, but if you went back to March, all that information was out in March. That everything got linked back to Fauci in March. Everything got linked back to Bill Gates in March. All this, because you had all the people who are not stupid go right online, do their own research, and they went, oh, this is all linked. This is all bullshit. This goes back to this lab. And everyone's like, you're crazy. All these doctors who are like, just use vitamin D. You're fine. This isn't hurting anybody. You're fine. Don't intubate people. You're fine. They all got like disbanded from their fucking practices. They got like silenced, and they're all right though. Right. That's the thing. They're right.
Yeah.
So like, what do we do? You know, like, at what point do we go, fuck the NAP, fuck all this shit? Like, what they're doing is violating the NAP. They held us in our houses for a lie, which we all knew about. Yeah. Which is the other annoying thing is now we're going along with a lie we know about because half of our friends and family and the world doesn't believe us.
That's the thing, dude. That's the key. We have to hold on, especially people who are like in our age group. I think we need to be the preservers of the great before. That's our job right now.
Yeah.
Because kids that are 20, they grew up post 9/11, dude. So you're right. There's a sense of like, if you tumble too far down into the bullshit, you can't even see what's right anymore. That's why 9/11 is still big for me. I love to remind people what it was like before then. And dude, COVID is the next phase.
Yeah, and that's what again, my wife, this, by the way, this, if anything, red pilled the fuck out of this whole thing. Red pilled the fuck out of her.
My girl too.
Now, she went more conservative, not libertarian way, but she saw that that party doesn't care about her either. And now she's just like, fuck all parties. Like, she's not even going to go with the libertarian because she's like, fuck parties. She's just like,
yeah.
And I don't blame her, by the way, because she knows what's happening in our party. Because she just hears me talk about it. I talk to her about it. So she's like, well, you guys are a mess. I was like, fair. I was like, true. She's like, she always hated the left because they're fucking despicable. So, right. And then the right's gross. They have no morals, principles either. They just care about money and themselves, right? So like, that's the other thing about breaking like your right-leaning friends. It's like, hey, the cops aren't your friends. They shut down the businesses. They enforce immoral laws. Like, they are just as bad. It's like you can't. Yeah. You gotta ditch all this shit. But this red pilled her the fuck out of her, and then she was like, "Oh, I get it." She's like, "This is all a fucking game. It's all a scam." And then she's like, "Well, when's it going away? When's the pandemic ending?" I go, "Steph, the pandemic might end." But I go, "Did 9/11 ever end?"
Right.
I go, we go to Mexico every year. We go to the airport. That's 9/11. that delay we have, even though
Yes.
I'm pre-checked and all that shit, which is great. But if you're not pre-checked and you have to sit, I'm like, that's 9/11. Oh, the shoes, that's 9. I'm like, Steph, we were 14 years old when that happened, 13, whatever the fuck we were, right? But I'm like, we're still dealing with that. I'm like, I say you will die with COVID in your brain. Like, it's never going away.
Absolutely. This is the color-coded chart thing, like that you deal with for 20 more years, or at least till the 2030 plan when they get, if they're on schedule. But yeah, man, you'll have the yellow all the way to red version of, instead of it being terror, it'll be the virus alert. And we're already on to the new variants and Delta this and all this bullshit. And the people who bought the bullshit and have done heinous things to, like, masking your kid for 6 or 8 hours a day. Like, they're probably too deep, dude. Like, you can't go back from then. You got to make certain for your own sanity, I think, that you're on the right side. So they'll probably just double, triple, quadruple down while, people like me and you go, you're fucked up. You need to go back. We have immune systems. Let your kids breathe. Normal shit. Yeah, they're gone, man. I'm shocked by the amount of people that are bought it in hook, line, and sinker, man.
But like, we say we're shocked, but then if you really think about it, like, are you shocked? Because people, again, feed into the Obama years, like he was a great guy when, and if you want to look at the Trump stuff where he might not, it's different than Obama, but like people fed into just the whole hype train of like, I'm going to save the world. It's like, well, you lost. Even if you believe in that, whatever. My point is, like, he's not there, right? He's not the president. Is my point.
Right.
So it's people keep buying into too much bullshit. So it's like I look around and I go, actually, no, I do believe it, because everyone just buys whatever they want to fucking buy.
Yeah.
And you have those predetermined. Oh my god, my brain is fucking fried. Word I'm looking for, like these prerequisites of how you feel, almost. We're like these pre-feelings where you're like, no, I believe a certain way. This is how I always view my life. This is my parents' view. So these are my feelings. These are my beliefs. And I'm going to no matter what news comes my way or information may come my way, I'm not changing it. Right? So we go, well, did you see that mass and lockdowns actually have done nothing but hurt? People go, well, where do you get that news from? Where do you get your news from? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. This is a new phenomenon, dude. Like, you didn't, I'm not saying that Trump did it, but this is part of the Trump effect. So, like, when he puts out a statement, if he says hydrochloroquine works, then automatically half of the country will go, well, obviously that doesn't work. It's the opposite of whatever, right? So he doesn't need to be an honest person to say a statement and then just derail whatever he tried to do or whatever. So that's just one example. But yeah, I guess I shouldn't be shocked. But I am shocked with the way that I always envisioned the state, if they were going to clamp down, like make a huge move like they did over the past year, that it would be like 1984 style, like boot on neck. But the technology and the manufacturing of consent has gone on for so long. The Karen culture and the narc culture has been curated for so long that they've really they've tapped into that. So they've gotten us, like, our neighbors don't really trust each other or like each other based on, your conservative or liberal preferences here and that. This is all bullshit, man. And they did this over the past 10 years. Our brethren on the left was doing that 99. We are the 99%. They weren't concerned with, your cultural leanings at that point. Now they are.
Right, exactly. And like you got to give credit to these fucking shifty bastards, man. They're fucking smart. The state, the deep state, and whatever we want to call them, they're fucking smart, man. Like, I mean, they were able to, because again, and that's I keep like cutting myself off, but like people have to realize, like, these plans aren't made up in 2019 and then released. They're made up in 2000. Like 2002.
Yeah. What the fuck do you think they're talking about, Bilderberg? They're talking about COVID-19.
Right. They're setting this like Stan Tripoli said this one time, and it was brilliant. He goes, these guys set up plans knowing they're gonna die, never seeing. So in other words, like, these guys will. So some 80-year-old guy in 2002 was like, COVID-19 in 2019. I'm gonna die. I'm never even gonna see it, but I'm setting it up. Like, these guys are evil. It's pure evil.
That they're serving a dude, and I don't get too much into the mysticism. I'm agnostic, but if I'm broing down with my religious or spiritual brethren, these guys serve a fucking dark lord, and it's the opposite of what we're doing. Because you and I, dude, are in a fight that we probably won't see the end of too.
Exactly.
Except this one is for good. And it's for truth and for honesty, and they operate in the opposite realm, the shadow realm of that. you know.
And that man, it's again, I'm sick of I'm like when you see all the Epstein stuff and the Ghislaine Matt, it's like guys like you and I have been talking about pedophile rings for how fucking long? How fucking long? And now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, you guys know all the pedophile rings? And you go, yeah. No, we do know. We've been talking about it. You guys didn't give a fuck. You guys would rather call us crazy than protect children. Which, who's the fucking asshole now? Us?
And even, dude, even after all that, after all the Epstein stuff, all they have to do is go, Pizzagate. That's all, because like the propaganda, again, you get one asshole who, you know, like, the media can morph that story. Man with gun walks into pizza oh, he thinks underground human trafficking rings at a pizza shop. Isn't that hilarious, everybody? Ha 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 ha.
Right.
Like, that's what they fucking do to just kind of discredit the whole thing. That was there's lots of criticisms for QAnon, but one of the things I saw early was like, oh, they're going to take everything from JFK to 9/11 to COVID to human trafficking, all this shit, and lump it into one big thing that they can discredit.
Right.
Oh, look at all these crazies right over here who believe all this stupid shit. Flat Earth, you know, like throw all these things in, ridiculous with the true, with everything else, and just kind of make it all look bad.
It's funny, too, because if you see the biggest proponents against, like, the pedophile conspiracies, they all get busted for child porn, all of them. There was that one dude who was, again, Pizzagate, whatever, right? But, like, that one dude's like, Pizzagate, how it's a joke. That guy, who's a blue check mark on Twitter, got arrested for child porn.
Dude, it's because these guys, and if you know anything about the Epstein story, their main currency is blackmail.
Right.
That's what they deal in. You do this. I'm pretty sure that's why Epstein had that painting of
100%.
Bill Clinton in the blue dress. It's like, dude, they probably put Monica Lewinsky in the White House.
Yes. That one with Bush. You see that one we had with Bush with the paper airplanes and towers? It's like, that's a straight. Know what that is? That's almost like rich guy, I own you shit. That's like rich, because they're not jocks, they're not tough guys, but that's rich guy, deep state bolt where it's like, you're in a dress, I own you, bitch. That's
Rothschild poking the prince's chest right there.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. And he's like, do something about it. And you see that judge just released all that connections between Maxwell, Epstein, and the Clinton family. He just ordered that allowable to like open up.
Dude, this story still gets me, man. It's weird because we still haven't seen proof of, like, you've never seen, to my knowledge, a perp walk for Ghislaine Maxwell. You've never seen a mugshot. You've never seen any footage of like camera footage, a cell phone, anything to even prove that she's alive or in custody or anything. So I got lots of questions about that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's how do we? I mean, I guess that's the question. How do we bring more people's attention? Because like the Epstein thing helped, right? That was big help. But people will still, again, it's like, what issues are important to people then to fucking pay attention to? Because if it's not hurting kids, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's it gonna do? What's it gonna be? Because also another thing that I realize in this country is there's a certain group of people, probably more on the left, but they love to call racist, but they don't give a shit that we bomb brown kids overseas to death every fucking day. I never hear them talk about it, never once. So you only care about the bullshit here, because you never criticize our military for bombing. Our presidents for bombing brown kids. All of them. They all do it.
They used to do that when I used to be on the left, and they had so many shortcomings. But one of the thing that kept me there, and was the anti-war stance. Mm-hmm. This was one of the major functions of Barack Obama's presidency, was to squash the last of the anti-war left. That's my opinion. That guy made it look good. He sold the healthcare plan, but also built into that cake was the destruction of because you couldn't criticize Obama for anything.
Right.
And he escalated all those things, all the drone attacks, everything.
Yep, everything. Oh, well,
three or four more countries than Bush, bombing every day. So that's how you get lost in the sauce.
What is it? Bush started 2. He tacked on 4 more. Right, I think, and then I think his drone strike casualty rating for civilians is like 85%. So like 85% of drone strikes, he killed civilians.
Right. So, and he's an agency guy, to
Yeah.
my knowledge. So he likes that. He likes that he can have the persona of like the peace candidate. This is kind of what Trump did. He can go to a room and say, bomb the crap out of them. And also, I don't want to fight stupid wars. He could just say that. He could say it the same day.
That's a good Trump
And
person.
thanks, man. But literally, he would just say whatever to whatever audience he was at. That's the beauty of having Cambridge Analytica to come in and go, okay, look, we tracked the last presidential candidacy of Ron Paul. Here's what you need to say to reach these audiences. They like Alex Jones. They like freedom. They like liberty. We can avoid the peace and the non-intervention stuff, and we'll still win with, we'll hit that nationalist crowd. And I think that's how they do it, man. He just said what he had to do.
Yeah,
like
of
Chappelle
course.
said, just tell me what to say. I'll say whatever it takes.
I'll say it.
I'll say it. Whatever it takes. That's what I'm saying.
That's all of them, though, right? Again, and this is fun. Again, I was talking to my mom. My mom was definitely more right-leaning. Like, she's a Trump person, my mom, and I was like, we talking about the wars, and she's not for the wars, my mom, at all. But I was like, well, the troops are still there, and she was like, I was like, Trump could have pulled them out. She was like, well, Trump tried. I go, no, he didn't. I go, he easily could have just went, take him home. I wrote that. I'm like, he's actually the only guy who could do that. He's actually the guy to do that. he's their leader. He's the guy to go, they all come home now. But he didn't because he's playing the game just like everybody else fucking plays. Because he even knows I can't pull these fucking guys out of here. I'll get fucking whacked like JFK did, or whatever the fuck else happened to. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, Mom, it's a fucking, this is a game. This is a game, and you lost. We all lose.
Absolutely, man. I view Trump as like that character in Titanic, the lady character, the new money. Remember, she was like,
yeah.
So like you got your Bushes and Clintons, like these legacy guys, like on the boat, and then here comes new money with like just kind of a crude, like way about him. But he's in the game. They can't stop that. So he's set up MAGA. I think, dude, that's how you rebrand. It's a corporate rebrand.
It's a yeah.
His kid's going to be president. I'm sure he's got at least 1, 2 probably that could run for office and win. People love this. I think it has to do with our British bloodline, that we love like royalty and family. Like we did it already with the Clintons and the Bushes.
It's
exactly.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Because like that's what people would say. Like the Kardashians are like our royal family. I go, gross. Don't say that. But like also, what is he upset? I think that's why. As much as we're like fuck England as a country, we still always. In our culture, some part of it always somehow seep back to that fucking crown somehow.
Yeah. Dude, check this out. And again, it's just fun to think about. But Prince Harry and his smoking hot wife just had a kid on American soil.
Yes.
So that kid in 35 years could be like king president.
Oh, dude, that's sick, actually. King president would be cool.
Wouldn't that be wild? Bring the monarchy back, right? Crush democracy.
King president. I'm anti it, but when you say king president, I'm all in. My fantasy nerd brain comes in. I'm like, well, king president sounds kind of cool.
Oh, God Emperor Harry.
God Emperor. Oh. God Emperor is cooler. God Emperor wins. God Emperor, then I guess Sun King. No, Sun King. No, God Emperor, Sun King, King President. 3 cool.
But here comes Baron. Here comes Baron Trump to slay the demon with his sword of fire. I can't wait.
So where? All right. So let's talk about, I guess, internally a little bit. LP stuff a little, because I do want to cover that for sure. 2021 conventions happened a lot already. Like we had the PA one, and I'm not going to rehash the PA convention again. It's been talked about the fucking death. I talked about it on this show. Everybody talks about the convention, but we know that's over now, and we're already reprogramming for next year, and we're going to regroup to crush that shit.
I love your attitude, dude.
Yeah, because dude. Listen, I was a voting member, right? So I was allowed to vote and stuff like that. But like, it's fucked up what happened. Like I was blown away, and then like all these fucking cowards still talking shit. Like still at the like I'm also the state board rep for Bucks County in PA, so like I'm on all the state board meetings, and hearing the fucking forked tongue doublespeak from some of these motherfuckers, man, just cowards. Won't say it to your fucking face ever. They'll never say it on the phone call or Zoom or to you, but they'll fucking go online and type a diatribe on Facebook about it. I'm like, no one's reading your novella, bro.
Yep.
Just say you suck and move on. Like no one cares like what you have to fucking say. So like I'm just kind of getting real over it, and a lot of what I'm hearing is again, we saw a lot of people resign already, like Henchman resign, which by the way his name's Henchman, so funny. Because like
know.
he pulled like a henchman
sometimes
move.
I feel like, yeah, we're just in a game, a simulation here, and they're fucking with us.
How aren't we? It's like, it's like, how aren't we? It's he's gone, and then you saw everybody else resign after him. A lot of people resign after him. That guy Longstreth, he's a piece of shit. From Alabama, that guy. I openly challenged him on the Michael Heist podcast. Michael Heist on my podcast, last episode before yours, and I was just kind of ripping him, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it again. I challenge you, National Convention Reno MMA exhibition match for charity, bitch. Fight me.
Do it.
Because that dude was like yelling at Karen Ann at the it's all these like weak, low T men, and that's a problem, I think, in the Libertarian Party. Is like this culture of like they're afraid to have hard messaging, and they're afraid to fight the Republicans and Democratic in the state. They're like afraid to do that because they can't even get past someone calling them stupid. Like they can't get past memes.
Yeah, I don't think they want to fight the state, man.
They don't.
I don't think that they're capable of that, and I think they want to join the state but be a better version of it, which is, I'm not here to shit on minarchists, but that's like maybe an argument against that a little bit. It's like, wow, we think we can just get in there and wear the right suits, we're yellow instead of red and blue. Like it's not, no, man, that's not what it's about.
Right. Yeah.
And it's not just about winning elections, and it can be later when you're awesome, but right now you need a lot of help from the activists, from the movement, and you're going to let us in.
Again, and this goes back to what I said before about they all snuck in here to this party when no one gave a shit because it was a joke.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
these are really what these people really are. They're mostly Green Party people or progressive Democrat, and they have some of the neocon, people on the right who are in there. But like, it's mostly left-leaning progressives or Green Party people who are in the party, and they think like this is it's like this isn't progressivism, this isn't GOP shit, this isn't right-wing shit, this is libertarianism. It's its own thing. You have parties for that. Go make your own. Make your own.
That's what they want us to do. Like, oh, you're coming in and ruining what we've built. You go start your own fascist party. No, man, you got it all wrong here, sir. That's not how. Let's go back to 1971 if you want to examine, what they were talking about in David Nolan's living room.
Right.
That's his strategies.
That's what they think. They think that it's their party.
Yeah, man. Some of it, I think, is youth and inexperience. I could be wrong about that, but and it's obviously, I think, based on the location of the Libertarian Party. I don't know why you stashed that thing right in Alexandria, Virginia. To be perfectly honest with you, you should slap it down there next to Mises Institute or, somewhere away from the Beltway, because it's just destined to be corrupted again, probably 40 or 50 years ago.
Because they want to be part of the mainstream so badly. It's all they care about. Again, like, what's the biggest fight? Another big fight right now internally, right? It's like, what's more important? Getting people elected to the messaging. Well, if you ask me personally, I mean, I definitely hear what you have to say, but mine's quicker. It's just messaging. Messaging brings candidates to elections. In other words, like, if that messaging's out there, people will see the L in that candidate's name, and they go, oh, that's a libertarian guy. Oh, I like their message. That's the fucking way to do it. You don't just send out and win nonsense inspector of general elections of fucking Bucks County that mean nothing. Having a libertarian for that means nothing. Having a libertarian for fucking local bullshit 101, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is nothing. But the message that Dave Smith brings to the table, going on Rogan, is way more than, again, fucking some asshole running for what? Chief of elections? Who gives a shit? What's his message going to be? Is he really going to speak to the people? Are they going to go, what would the chief of elections have to say? No one says that. So I think messaging first, then that brings candidates. But I mean, definitely want to hear what you have to think about it.
Yeah, I'm skeptical of the majority of the LNC. I love me some Karen Ann, and I know there's some good people, but I'm skeptical of them based on, what I've seen over the past, just let's say like 20 years. So again, I think that they would rather not necessarily just to keep their own, like their club, but basically what this nonprofit does is run a jobs program for like a few unremarkable people where they raise money every 4 years, right? Like that's what they want to do. Look at the numbers, Nick would tell you. Look how many votes we got and how much money we took in for Gary Johnson. It's like, but that's from the mind of of a political animal, not somebody who wants to start the revolution or restart the revolution, whatever. That's somebody who wants to get high vote totals, like based on what his projections are, right? Again, we're talking about 2%, 3% could be considered a success. And their time preference is just, he's got 1,000 years, dude. He's got 1,000 years to wait because they don't care as long as there's a lot of money, I guess, for some people to be made in being the opposition. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in creating a radical political party. I'm pretty sure that that's what the majority of the Mises Caucus is interested in too. Give this thing some teeth for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see. They don't want to see that.
No, again, it all goes back to they just want to be able to go on the chair of Missouri. No one cares.
By the way, I am the chair of Newcastle County, Delaware. Big cheese around here, baby. That's right.
Yeah,
we had ourselves a nice little takeover.
That is funny, dude. We actually have our meeting coming up in 2 weeks, our Bucks. Because again, there's fucking drama going on. I just now it's a legal issue, so I'm not involved in it, but I definitely don't want to talk about it because now I know for a fact it's a legal issue. But there was, let's say, between a Mises guy and another non-Mises person in Montgomery County, there's a little incident, and now there's lawyers being involved. Let's put it that way, because these people.
Was it a physical altercation or was it?
Yes, but like, not what you think. It wasn't like a fight.
Okay.
Not at all. It wasn't a fight. There was not a punch thrown, if that's what you're asking me. Not one thrown. Dude, if it was, it would have been a very one-sided fight.
No nap was broken here?
No, but that's what he's trying to claim, one of the guys.
Yeah, of course.
It's not. It's what it is. It's a bunch of tough guys who go online and they posture a lot online, and then sometimes they're in the real world and they forget who the fuck they're dealing with. Yeah. That's what happened.
You got to come to convention, bitches.
Oh, dude. Wild.
Yeah.
By the way, at our convention, this is a fun thing. I forgot the guy's name, but he's no longer. I think he went to the Green Party now. But he was part of the Prags. He stood up in the middle of the convention on the microphone, and now the tent was kind of split, like Mises one side and everybody else on the other side. That's just kind of how it naturally fell because we all just kind of congregated, And he stood up, looked at the left hand of the tent, and said, well, half this convention is full of racists and misogynists. And then he did this, like, to bask in it. I'm not kidding. He basked in it because we started booing him, of course, to fuck himself. And then I just started looking around the tent, okay? And I look at their side, and it's just a bunch of angry white dudes and some white women. Then I look at the Mises side, all the women, all the people of color. On our side.
Yeah, they project. That's what lawyers do. That's what demons do. Double speak, legalese, baby. That's what they do. I've just noticed that constantly. Yep. Oh, they want to take over the party. They want to cheat. Yes. They want to kick people out. They want to, take. No. We're cool and we get along with everybody. And it's lame to go, I'm not a racist, but you know what? We're like. I'm pretty sure. I haven't even experienced any of that stuff, man, around our circles, and these are good people. And I know, again, I can't apply this to everybody, but I've known Mike Heiss for over 10 years. I'll be going to his wedding this year. That guy is as real as it fucking gets. And if anybody, that's why since I know him personally, and I know the type of person he is, the character of Mike. It enrages me when I hear people, dictator for life, Mike Heiss. It's like, what the you want his caucus? You want him to like put his position up for like Democratic votes? Eat shit, bro. That's why all your systems suck. You guys.
No, shout out to Heiss, dude. I mean, I've been getting closer and closer with Heiss over this last year because we're not too far from each other. He comes to all the Bucks meetings.
He speaks very highly of you, man.
Oh, really?
That's awesome. I knew it would be a good experience to come on here. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
He's a fan.
I love Mike. We're getting definitely closer and closer. But yeah, and by the way, they have an unhealthy obsession with Heiss. These people, like all these troll accounts, and that's the other thing too. We have a few people who unaffiliated with Mises who might say some outlandish racist shit online, and we go, yeah, we don't know that person.
Yeah.
These people are actively making Gadget the Cat, which is Mike's cat, troll accounts, and like going online, doxing his fucking fiance, telling people where he's gonna have his wedding. Like, that same account when Joshua Smith, you know Josh Smith, obviously. Joshua Smith, he's like, hey, my son's going to the hospital. I have to take my son. And then the next day he was like, hey, my son's okay. This piece of shit goes, oh, I'm sorry, your son's dick went into his vagina. Too bad he didn't die from it.
That was one of the worst things I've ever seen on Twitter.
And then it's like, dude, if I find out who that is, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. Fuck Josh. I'll do it.
He's probably in PA. I bet he is.
No. Listen. I'll talk to you off air about it.
Noted.
I'll talk to you off air about it. I don't want. Off air, we'll talk about it. I can't.
I know.
I'm not editing this.
Keep this channel. You keep it safe.
Yeah. Off air before we go. We'll talk about what's going on with that. But yeah, these fucks, man. And this is what I'm saying. They project. They're the ones doing all the troll accounts. They're the ones on there going like, calling us blatantly lying through their teeth. Again, with the heist thing. This isn't a fucking PAC. I mean, this isn't a fucking political party, the Mises Caucus. It's a caucus. Yeah. There is no elections if there's a wannabe. That's how it works. And they're dumb. No. They're dumb. And then they always try to get us on like, do you see the GOP Mises filed a PAC, and that has nothing. Yeah. That's like the actual GOP party. It has nothing to do with us. Yeah. And they're like, oh look, they say they're not Republicans. And then we went, that's actually not us. The numbers are different. If you could tell, this is ours. And it's like, you guys are just. By the way, with a second of research, they would have known that. But they don't want to do the research. They want to just because here's the thing, you go online, gotcha. Right? You go online, you put something out there. People only read the first thing. That's why all these scumbag newspapers, they'll put out a crazy headline and article that's wrong. They know they're going to have to retract it. They'll retract it 2 months later on the 6th page where no one's going to read it.
This is a feature, not a bug. This is the way they do it. Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely, dude. They operate in that scummy but legal realm. Disgusting.
Let me ask you this. What's the best way to combat this? How do we beat this? What's your thoughts on doing it?
So first, I'll just say that my way in my 4 years in the caucus is to like really go for the jugular with these people. Like I don't fuck around with them. When I see it, and if they go after my people, which is a heist, and anybody the caucus, my local Delaware Mises Caucus, or even like our thought leaders by extension. You go after Dave, you go after Tom, whatever. These are the guys that are kind of on the chessboard. We're all making moves together. So. That's usually been my way. Oh, if anybody uses the racist, nationalist, homophobe, all these things, like these are words that get people fired. Mm-hmm. Like I own my own business, so I'm not really, I'm free with my words. But you can fuck somebody's life up with this stuff, and I'm sure you've experienced it in your party. We're going through it in our party. One guy, dude, he's been there for 12 years. He hasn't done dick, and he wants to. You call people, the brown shirt caucus or the MAGA caucus or the fascist people, white national, all this shit, dude. I went to my first meeting last month where I chaired, and we had a talk at the end where he and I just, from 2-3 feet away. I know that's not CDC standard, but we had a talk for quite a bit. And I said to him, I'm like, dude, look down at my feet. And I said, stare me in the fucking Birkenstocks. And call me alt-right to my face. And that's what I meant. Like, look at these people. I'm staring at this dad over here who brings his 17-year-old son. You've called brown shirt. What the fuck is the matter with you, dude? These are good people, really good libertarians and good human beings. So I don't look. You can call me whatever you want. You can call Heise a dickhead. You can say his. I don't know. I think that's weird that they dedicate this much time. You can call me whatever you want. But when you cross that line, I'm not trying to work with you. I'm trying to discredit you, fully. So this guy on our team down here, man, he's got a little bit of time right now. He's fucking around bigly. And he's almost, I would say, gone rogue. And preventing, officers in the party and the board from getting their social media account access that they should have had a month ago. He's really pushing it, man. So, we're trying to go through the correct channels, but I'm telling my people, yo, when you're ready for me to go through Twitter channels, the big channels, and let people know who this motherfucker is, then we could do that too. We can go that route.
That's another thing too that these people don't fucking get, man. And listen, I'm not saying I'm anybody fucking big in this party. I'm just saying I have a little bit of a fucking at least following behind me. A little bit. We have people that you and I, dude, we're on the same level, but we know the people who know the people who will drop the hammer. Exactly. So I'm I'll fucking call Josh right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'll call Heist
Easy.
right now. Like, dude, don't make me. Like, I'll fuck. But like, and then that's the thing. It's like we have more followers. Our message hits more people. If you and I'm not saying like look at my Twitter follow. I'm just saying though because people care. We have to say you don't inspire anybody. Go to your fucking
That's
Twitter
facts.
following and you have 70 followers. Not because you're not good at Twitter. Not because you're not. It's because you suck. It's because you don't inspire people. No one will lead into battle with you. But I'll
think
follow
they gotta
Dave and
know
Tom
that.
Woods into a battle because they inspire me. You know, and I
Yep.
hope I could do that to people too. Not to their level yet, but I hope I could at least get some people like, yeah, fuck, you know, that's my goal, right? Is to get the fucking fire going. Like I'm like Bane. The fire
Dude,
rises.
this is the only way we're going to do it. This is, again, I voted for Gary Johnson in 2012.
Same.
I voted for Gary Johnson in 2016.
That's what
I
I meant.
voted for Joe in 2020.
Same.
So it took me a while to go, all right, this sucks. I can only expect so much from a party that I'm not doing anything in. So I can, I'm bitching for a couple years and, I'm watching the caucus, make moves, and I'm helping Mike with like graphic design and some stuff from the sidelines. But it wasn't until like November, December last year that I was like, all right, I'm going to start showing up. I'm going to start doing the work because I can't bitch the way I want to about the job that's getting done if I don't do anything. So.
Yeah. No, Dave, I feel the same way, and that's why I started getting involved too. Because again, I was technically part of the party. Like I was like, a member of the party, the LP. I had my card and everything,
Right.
but I was like,
Sure.
this sucks. And then again, same thing. I was like, well, I'm complaining to no one. I'm just yelling in the fucking void. So like, do something about it, pussy. That's what I said to myself. And now I'm part of the Bucks and all that shit. But like, I think it does take. You're right. It's not just enough just to join up. You have to fucking actually make a push for something. Because then what the fuck are we doing here?
Totally, man. That's why I hate any of these. I hate to use that word.
Same.
I don't appreciate when some of the dudes in our circles shit on the efforts that are being made. Because, I was there. I was in that group day one. And Mike Heist called, and I love that dude, and I loved Ron Paul. So I probably wasn't as gung-ho as he was in the beginning. That was kind of like slowly and then all at once kind of thing. But, I can do some quick inventory from 2017 till now. And, dude, we've moved mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I say we, like, really, I owe Mike. We all owe Mike so much. Like, just he's that, like, proverbial Paul Revere character. Hey, everyone, do you know who Nick Sawalk is? He's fucking everyone. You must know about, like, we needed that to happen. I don't know about you, man, but from 2013, I used to play in bands when I was younger, and I would write about liberty, write about the stuff that, like, Ron Paul inspired me to do, and then when he kind of pieced out and the movement kind of fizzled, I really didn't. That was kind of like my most black-pilled period was 2013 to like 2017. Didn't really know what to do, like with myself and like artistically and politically, and then when Mike started the caucus, I volunteered to just like help out with some memes and design work, and that's led me to here. It's like Josh Smith would start to hit me up. Dude, I'm working on my campaign. Can you make me this meme? Yeah, sure. I can bust that out. Hey, can you work with GIFs? Like, not yet, but I'll figure that out. Can you do video? Not yet, but I'm going to try and figure that out. Like that's just getting into it, kind of getting your hands dirty a little bit. And now it's, again, only 4 years later, dude, and we are the party. The tipping point has happened, and we have a lot to look forward to with Angela, who I think is going to be amazing. And then again, 2024, if Dave Smith, we're lucky enough to like have that campaign on a national campaign. Imagine it's not just Dave Smith, but there's Dave Smith, Ron Paul libertarians running for office alongside him. And it's so exciting, dude. I don't really want to hear about taking this energy and putting it in the GOP. That's about the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard in my life.
Exactly. Why would we do that?
Why would we do? It's not only why would you do that. It's like, dude, the science says you can't just take this energy and move it into the GOP. It belongs here.
Right.
This is where Ron Paul's energy belongs. Mike Heist said that too. This inspired me. Like if the LP doesn't preserve Ron Paul's legacy, who's going to do that? The GOP is not going to do it. This needs to be the home for that, moving forward for the next 100 years. You know what I'm saying? We're doing that early groundwork, bro, where we can make it sustainable for people in the future. I can't wait till somebody wants to run against me as chair in my county who's like actually qualified.
Right. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
well, eventually that's what's gonna happen, right? You have Mises running against each other.
That would be great.
No, it is great.
Radicals and whatever else,
Right.
just like the people who want it the most and
Right.
who are the most radical, the most willing to go that extra mile to do it, because it's thankless work and it's long work. It's like you don't get to that like World Series game where you hit the home run and you win. Like that's not the way this is going to go ever.
The delusion on their side too of like they're the ones bringing all these new people in and they're the ones raising all this. It's like it's clearly us. It's not even remotely true.
So they get to say that, but it's false.
Which is annoying because they do get the LP technically has to go look at all these new members and they can't prove that it was us, but it's like we know. Like okay,
Yeah.
and a very annoying thing that happened in my last meeting last month was I was talking to it's not his, I won't even say his name. I was talking to somebody who's elected somebody in Pennsylvania who's not on our side, and we were just and I was like, hey man, I was like, I get what's happening here, but I'm like, you have to understand, at the Bucks meetings, there was 4 people coming here until all of us started showing up. Now there's 20, 30 people in meeting. I go, you're going to tell me that was this chair, this former chair? And he's like, well, actually, he's the one who was consistent. I went, that means nothing. I go, the fact that you're even defending this is fucking, that's how you, like, they can't be honest with me. Like, we're alone.
Sure.
You could just be like, no, you guys, but you can't even do that. Like, he has had to be like, no, actually, it was. Am I a dumb 4-year-old child? Like, am I? A lot of things, yeah.
We want the credit. I mean,
Not
like, look, we won't get it, dude. You're gonna have to wait for that PA victory till next year.
Yeah.
Again, I love your attitude because it is it's they got all the fouls lined up and you guys are getting ready.
Oh, buddy, my parents, I already have. They're still in Staten Island right now, New York. I already have them signed up for this PA state LP. They're already paying their dues because they're moving out here next year. They're already coming to the convention.
Your parents? That's so
my parents
great.
are already coming. They're already voting against all. Like, we're gonna have 500 fucking people there on our side. It's gonna be 600 people at the convention, 500 Mises people. Like, we're gonna beat the shit out of them. But like, it's like that's what you fucking get. We gave you the chance to play nice.
All you had to do was be cool.
That's it. Because again, you said it before. It's the projection. We weren't trying to kick anybody out. We're not trying. We're still not. I mean, now certain people for sure, I think, but like overall, we're not. Like, we're still trying to work with everybody, but like, we're like, hey, let these new people vote. Like, everyone's cool. Let's work together. Let's just move. We have ideas. You guys have ideas. Let's work ideas. Nope. All right. Well, then eat dick next year, man, because that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you had a chance, man. That's over.
It's over. I mean, I'll say this for our state chair, Jen Moore. She has so far followed through with her promises. So far.
She's the blonde woman, right?
Yes.
She used to be. Yeah, she just came and she spoke at our Liberty Speaks event. She seemed like she's got her, like a good mind. Didn't seem like an activist to me. But that's okay. Like,
yes, she's more of a politician person, but she definitely leans more that side. She's not Mises. But again, I talked to her, and we have some people talk to her.
She ain't got no caucus though. Ooh, shit.
Ain't got no caucus though.
Where's your house?
I don't even know if she was actually technically part of the Prags.
Okay.
But I will say this: this is fucking. You know Joe Van Wagner by any chance? Joseph Van Wagner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, he's a great guy. He's a PA guy. He does a lot of work in the movement. But at the state meeting, at the state board meeting, someone mentions the Prague dissolving, and he just starts clapping, and then Jen Moore goes, "Oh, Joe, you had." He goes, "Oh, Joe, you had." I'm sorry. She's like, "Oh, Joe, you raised your hand for something?" He goes, "No, I was just clapping for the Prague dissolving."
I try to make jokes in my call maybe like 2 weeks ago about the chair resigning, and nobody laughed. Like,
oh, I got a good laugh
all
at.
good.
Well, I mean, I hope I am a comic, but when I won the board rep vote, which we all ran uncontested actually, but we still had how the rules go. You still have to fucking vote. So I gave a speech afterwards. I was like, all right, guys, I just want to say the rivers will run blood with the red of our enemies. And, like, we're gonna be doing a lot of killing. Oh my god, I'm kidding. It's fun, but
except for anybody who voted no to, y'all gonna get it.
Starting with you, I just fucking have an accent. No, but yeah, it's like just get involved, and that's the thing. And that's people. I do get hit up from some people like, "Hey, how can I help in like my community?" I was like, "Hey, man, just get involved." Or like just and if your county doesn't have a LP, start it.
Yeah.
Like that's important too.
That's the move, dude. The easiest, the biggest hurdle for me, I think, was jumping into something that I knew was already a social club with people that have been hanging out for years. That, to be honest with you, lots of them didn't see libertarianism the same way that I did. So I was like, this looks like a real uphill battle. And then at the Jorgensen event, I hosted that event at my business down the street, and I ended up meeting a lot of great libertarians. And we exchanged numbers, and they came back, a week or two later, and everybody was like minding their P's and Q's, and it was in the campaign, so nobody was like would say anything about that campaign or how it was run or anything. But a couple of weeks later, people were willing and were like, "Yeah, I'm a libertarian, but this is not the way that I would want it to be presented." So that was kind of the birth of the Mises Caucus. Here was like, oh, everybody who was putting on this show for Joe didn't really feel it. Got it. All right. Like if we're all in that same boat, let's bro down and let's take on these jive turkeys over here.
Yeah, because obviously it was uninspiring. Again, she was just. Yeah. I mean that, and once you start to go bend the knee to the mob, when it's not enough to be racist, you have to be anti, like that tweet. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, we're done here. Played
it safe. She just played it safe, and I felt bad for I didn't feel bad. I had Spike on the show. We talked a little bit about it, but he's so good at what he does that I was like, oh my God, this guy can't even say what he wants because it's her campaign. Right. But he's good enough that where he can kind of explain what she meant, but not be you're not lying and you're not unlibertarian, but that's a real chore to keep it real as a libertarian, as a number two on a political campaign.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that who aren't in the LP. Like it's not like the other two parties. You just pick your running mate. It's like it's voted to you, so your running mate is
they
just.
Didn't want him.
No shit. Of course.
They did not want that. That was a liability. Oh, your nipples are out there on the internet already. How are we going to cover this up, Spike?
I mean, obviously, Larry Sharp would have been a much better candidate than fucking Joe Jorgensen. If we were.
Yeah.
Or obviously Jacob Hornberger, obviously, but my point is there were so many better. Choices instead of her, but didn't we raise 4,000 signatures for her in PA alone?
Oh, I don't know about your stats.
I think in PA we got 4,000 signatures. I didn't do any of that, but Mark Rozzocco and stuff those guys did. My heist, they went out 4,000 signatures is no fucking small feat, dude. For somebody you don't even really support,
right?
And these people are fighting. That's what I'm saying. It's what do you mean? We are clearly trying to help.
While Mike Heist was doing that, he's trying to build his caucus, and he's trying to help Maj Touré's city council run, literally driving to Philly, passing out his flyers, coming home, trying to do decrim in Norristown. Dude, that guy, I'm telling you, just lives it, dude.
Dude, it's so he's an animal, dude. And it's I'm just lazy. And I don't have the that's why I can never be a Heist type guy, where I can never run a caucus because I'm I don't want to mail stuff today. I want to play Warzone. You know what I'm saying? That's why I even tell the Bucks guys, the Bucks, for all the stuff we do, the committees, I go, listen, my strength is this. I'm good at talking and putting it out there and being funny and just talking about the message and getting people fired up, and I am not the let's go out there and get signatures guy. I am not the let's write a fucking declaration guy. That's not me. Mm-hmm. You guys are that. We all have parts here. That's not my part. Sorry, because I think that's good that we separate that shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of everybody just.
I told that to all my people before. I told them my intent to run for county chair, and I was just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure you do already, but I detest bureaucracy. And Robert's Rules of Order makes me, anxious, and this is not my arena. I'm doing it for the cause, right? For this reason, very specific set of goals. So man, I'm like I said, I'm an activist. I'm here to get it rolling, dude. Not to get votes, not to I'll participate in these things, but some people just they know how to write counter legislation, and they know how to go in and sit with their city council and do all these things and, you know, speak in this way. And it's just, that's not my strong suit. I'm kind of just a hammer to like go after, you know, characters that need to be taken out. That's I'm like a blunt force object online. It's my way.
Dude, I agree. I tell those guys too. I was like, I'm like, you guys have jobs. I was like, don't combat the trolls online. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm a comic. I can't get fired. I'm a comic. Like this is what I do, right? So like, let me do it. Like I'll bash them. Like save it. Like we should all have parts. Like I'll be the soldier. Like I'll take the bullets. Like let me fucking do it. Let me be the loud piece. But like I do the PA Mises podcast with Rob Calburn, Jacob Winograd, and Matt Rickline, and all three of those guys. Matt's very good in like social media, like his shit. Like he's good at wording stuff, and Jacob and like especially Rob's like a fucking genius. Like Rob's like a lawyer, and like he puts all his thought into shit. And I'm like, yeah, we need him to write stuff. You don't want me to come out and crayon and backwards R's.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's why we have guys like Rob to fucking be a genius and be like, no, hold on. Let's do it this way. I'm like, yeah.
Dude, isn't that one of the cooler things about our movement and our party is this, like, I mean, it's difficult at times, lots of infighting, but we got pro-life, pro-choice, we got intellectuals, we got comedians, we got, you know, libertines, and we got conservatives and whatever, like pussy hats, cowboy hats, trucker hats, fedora hats, all the shit. It covers the gambit. I remember in 2012, my band was playing Paul Fest in Tampa when Ron Paul was on his way out. And that was one of the first, like, I guess, Liberty events I ever went to. And that was coming from the left, man. I was so, I just assumed that no intellectuals would ever give like the layman their time or like energy to like speak. That was just, you know, the bourgeoisie versus the proletariat kind of mentality. But that was one of the first things that grabbed me. It's like, no, Tom Woods is down there and he's got all these, you know, like hooligans around him explaining, you know, whatever, history and Austrian economics or whatever. But we have to hold on to that. I think that's one of the best things about this party is it's true. It is the most inclusive for everybody, you know?
Dude, I agree. And I think we actually ended on that. We are the most inclusive party. Dave, tell everybody again where they can find you, social media, podcasts, all that great stuff.
Yeah, it is Dave VS Goliath. Check me out on YouTube and Odyssey, and I'm on all the podcatchers, Spotify and Apple, Google, all that good stuff. And I'm still banned on Facebook. I've spent like 6 of the past 7 months banned off Facebook, but I'll be back this week, I think. So Facebook, Instagram, and definitely Twitter, man. I'm new to the Twitter space, but Liberty Twitter is that's my spot. That's where I thrive, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, same. Liberty Twitter and sometimes comedy Twitter, obviously, but that's it. So
yeah, man.
As sure as I roll with. Dave, thanks so much for coming on, dude. That was a really fucking great time. And then I got hang out because I want to talk about the other stuff real quick. But everybody else, guys, catch me at Adam Nutter on Twitter, Instagram, Adam Nutter Comedy on Facebook and TikTok. Check out, again, that show July 10th, Pop In, Chalfont, PA. Get your tickets on my social media or droptent.com. Go to droptent.com for all the other great podcasts I do. Check out my comedy podcast, Cult of Us. Check out my sports podcast I do, Slapstick Sports. Check me out on everything. I talk too much. Fucking, all right. All right, guys. That is it. This has been fun. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG at Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok at Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.